I'm Jordan Fairbanks, and this is my kitchen. Today, we're gonna be making one of my favorite pasta dishes. This is gonna be homemade pasta with a black garlic butter sauce. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait for you to try it. All right, so we're gonna start off. We're just gonna take out most of the flour. We're gonna wanna make a little pile over here. And then we're gonna save just a little bit so that we can use that for later. And we wanna dust the board and whatnot. Just kind of make a little bowl in the flour. And in this bowl, we're gonna wanna put our eggs. I always make the bowl like smaller than I feel like it needs to be. And it always ends up being too small, but keep a little on the bottom there. And you're gonna wanna put your eggs into the bowl. And these are cage-free eggs, so sometimes you'll see, a little more color in them. I like that. I think it gives the pasta a little more character too. So just kind of want to mix those up and, incorporate some of the flour into there as well as you start doing that. You'll see the flour kind of likes to bind up and solidify there on the edge. So you just kind of hit that with your fork. Keep bringing in a little bit more. Now, when I first made pasta, I didn't have this little scraper, so I had to do this all with my hands. But the scraper is so clutch because even if you mess up like I just did, it catches everything. But we're just gonna fold this all in anyways, so it's no issues. Now we want to just go ahead and form it into a ball. We're going to put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes to let it rest. And so to do that, we're just going to wrap it up in some plastic wrap. And just wrap it up in the plastic wrap just like this. And a nice ball shape on it, keep it tight. And we're just gonna go ahead and put that in the fridge over here. Let that rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's gonna help that to relax while we get it ready to laminate, which is the process of rolling it out into the sheets before we cut the noodles. All right, so now that the pasta's had a chance to rest, we just wanna go ahead and laminate it, which is how we're gonna form the sheets. So to start off, just go ahead and sprinkle your work surface with some flour. And you're also going to want to take some of that leftover flour and dust your rolling pin. Dusting your rolling pin is important because otherwise the sheets will stick to it and curl backwards, which is the opposite of what you want to do. So we're gonna take that ball. It's had a chance to rest, so it's a little more workable now. And we're just gonna start the process of flattening that out. You wanna start in the middle and work your way out. You don't wanna start in the beginning and work all the way across. Always start in the middle and just work about halfway through. One thing I like to do when I'm working with a larger batch of pasta, or really just any pasta, is to split it up into two sections. So this part I'm just gonna form back into a ball. I'm gonna put this into the fridge and let it rest while I'm working this side. Then I'll alternate those as I'm working. And what that's gonna do is just allow me to maximize my time so that I don't really have to take a break while the pasta is resting. While one bit is resting, I'm working the other. One thing about flouring your work surface is that it keeps the pasta from sticking, but it can tend to dry it out, and so it's nice to keep a little thing of water here. You can just kind of sprinkle, and you really just want to be real ginger with it. But that's going to kind of help you to keep the pasta hydrated, keep that dough hydrated as you're rolling it out. So this sheet is starting to get a little thin. Now the first one, is always going to be thick. You don't want to roll too thin on the beginning anyways. But once you start to fold it in like this, now we're laminating that pasta. And this is gonna do two things. One, it helps you to form a uniform sheet. So you'll see now it's starting to take on a square, or as we stretch it out, a rectangular shape. But also what this is gonna do is help to build layer upon layer and strengthen those gluten bonds. So now you just put in some elbow grease, and we're gonna roll this out until it becomes a little bit longer. We're gonna fold it back in on itself, and the whole time we're gonna make sure that it doesn't get too dry. If at any point it gets too hard to work with, we're going to swap it out with the other half with its counterpart over there in the fridge, and start doing the same thing to that one. So then we'll just take this and move the scraps to the side. You just want to form a little nest. Just like that. More flour on it. You just want to give it a chance to kind of relax. Now this is a really, really thick pasta. This is gonna be like a really like a small plate style. Like this is probably enough for 2 servings after we get the sauce and everything on there. A few different ways to store pasta. We can use the plastic wrap. We could vacuum seal it if we want to freeze it, which is like a really good way to do it. Just take it right out of the freezer, drop it right in from frozen into the boiling water. Or you can use it in just like normal Ziploc. We're just gonna wrap it in some plastic wrap today because we're gonna be cooking this again here shortly. This dark flavor, this comes from that Maillard reaction. So like I said, it all starts off just as like a normal head of garlic, and then that deep long fermentation process kind of makes this just this deep, rich color, flavor, aroma. So when you talk about like adding aromatics into a sauce, this is something that's definitely gonna stop and be something people are gonna want. Wow, what is that? Okay, so now that we've got the noodles in the pot, that's about to be at a boil again here any second. I really can't cook anything without at least a little bit of spice, so we're gonna take some red pepper flakes. I also like the color that they add to the sauce. You'll see by now that the black garlic is softened up to the point that it's almost breaking up against itself here as I stir. And that's just gonna add a pop of color to that, a little bit of diversity there in the pot. There we go, pretty close to a boil there. All right. That means those noodles are just about done, so we're gonna bring this back up to a boil as well. And we're gonna get ready to toss those noodles into the sauce here. Before we do that, we're gonna wanna get this lemon going too, so I always like the heel of the knife to just kind of soften that up. Go ahead and cut that in half. A little trick to juice the lemon here, and I want to do this pretty quickly because those noodles are about ready to go. Just all right, a little bit of lemon juice to brighten some things up in there. All right, so I like to take my noodles directly out and bring it over. You drop those right there into that sauce. All right, take a little bit of that water as well. The water is good. It has a lot of starch. It's got some salt in it from the seasoned it. It's gonna help this sauce to just kind of come together. These noodles are super, super thick, but that's great. They're gonna carry a lot of sauce for us. And there we go. So this is the black garlic sauce. And it just has such a color to it, such an aroma. We're gonna add a few more aromatics in there. Just some chopped up parsley and basil that we did a minute ago. The oils are still fresh. That just lightened up the scent so much more, adds so much color and a little bit of vibrancy to the dish. All right. And we are just about ready to plate this. Just one more thing. I love fresh tomatoes. I don't really like to cook my tomatoes when I use the butter sauce. I really like to just take them and just kind of let them go on the heat. You see, I just turned the heat off there. Just kind of let them go off the heat of that sauce. Stir them up a little bit. And here we have black garlic pasta.
What capacious plates we got here.
Oh man. Quite a the lemon zest. The lemon zest is just like vivacious.
It's like lemon sex.
The lemon sex.